Welcome back, YouTube. Coming back at you again today with something a little different. We're going to talk about an atomizer, a Genesis tank atomizer, the Avocado. Wait, not that avocado. This avocado. So, without further ado, let's dive down, take a closer look at it. Alright, and we're up close with the Avocado tank. Show you the box. Got nice branding there. Get it opened up, and here's your tank. You can see Avocado engraved nicely right there. Here's your standard 510 drip tip. It does come with a wide bore drip tip that threads in. I'm not going to be using that. Put this to the side. It also comes with a frosted glass tank, a ceramic baffle for single coil, and you can see there's a hole in it so that you can use single coil mode and still get airflow off both sides of your coils. Pretty cool. Also, you get your little goodie bag with all your spares, your O-rings, and your screws. Pretty neat little packaging. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop off this standard drip tip. Put on the one that I like. We'll pop this top off. That to the side. I've just got a standard 8-wrap 26 gauge dual coil in there. You can see it's got a nice velocity style deck. It's a 3 mil capacity tank. It is 22 millimeter in diameter, 33 millimeter height minus the drip tip. The included drip tip is 10 millimeters in length. It's got an adjustable gold plated center pin that you can unscrew and screw back in. I'm not going to take this completely apart. I just wanted to show you guys a little up close. There's a screw on top here that holds everything together, so we'll make sure it's nice and tight. So that 510 pin does protrude, but not a huge amount. I suppose it's enough. You could run it on a hybrid adapter, but I wouldn't, and I don't. So there is a lot of options for this tank. You can see those big 4 millimeter wick holes on both sides there, and also 2 millimeter post holes, so you can put in Claptons, you can put in whatever you like. So you could put in quad coils even, and maybe have the wicks kind of come up through one channel and snake around to your other coil, you know, come up, snake through, and come down the other side. You could build vertical coils, which I've seen, and have one wick come straight up and then the other one coming out from the top and go down. Lots of options with this. It's a very Genesis style. I want to say it's a dripper almost, but obviously it's not. Just a real small tank down there. I'm going to go ahead and try to show you on camera how I build it, or wick it rather. I've already got it built. I'm sorry. So yeah, just a standard dual coil. I like to sit them a little bit low, just so you can see. I like them a little bit lower so that the top doesn't get hot, because that is a domed top piece. I don't know if you can see it in there. This airflow control ring comes off, and you've got different configurations. So you can put it in single air hole mode with no air hole on the back, single air hole mode with the matching air hole on the back, or Cyclops style. Here's your control ring. Avocado right there, engraved nicely. I'm going to put it back to the regular airflow, closed off, just a smidge. So, let's build this. Wick it. I'm sorry, I keep saying build it. I've got my cotton here. I'm just going to cut it right in half. I like to peel off the outside layers of this cotton. Put that to the side. Just those little hard bits on the outside. We're left with nice fluffy cotton. Might be a little much, so I'm just going to kind of tear some off here. Now this thing does wick really surprisingly well, even with the cotton jammed all the way down to the bottom of the tank. Very surprised about that. So I'm just going to take this cotton and just start to roll it up. Nothing fancy. You just want a good thick piece of cotton for your coils, really. Seems to be what works the best for me. I'm going to take one end, pinch it, fold the little tail over, give it a nice pinch there, and thread it right through. Pretty simple stuff. No need for tools even, really. Just going to pull it. I'm just going to tug it on the other side to kind of even out that cotton there. Give it a little bit of a twist. Let's do the other side. That's what we're left with. Pretty simple, right? I like to kind of take it and just fold it down and eyeball how much cotton I'm going to need to get to the bottom of that tank. So we'll just kind of give it a snip there. Same on the other side. So I'm just going to give it a snip here. There we go. Now we know where to snip our other cotton, right? So just even them up. Got cotton hanging all over the place here, geez. So you can see, maybe I can pull them through a little bit more this way. Maybe even it out just a little bit. So here's what I like to do. I like to take these big, thick ends and actually trim kind of like a point to them, if you will. Another thing that I like to do is just trim them a little bit shorter than what's going to be at the bottom of the tank. And I just trimmed my points off. That was kind of dumb of me. Let's give them a little bit of a point again. So what's going to happen when we put these down into the tank, what's going to happen is it's going to act like gates if you have big, thick cotton going all the way down to the bottom. So when you go to fill it, you know, this side may be full, but that cotton is restricting the juice from getting over to this side. So unless you're vaping it completely flat, which I don't think anybody does, you're always tilting to vape, I'm going to try to get these to where juice can kind of flow all the way around in this tank, just evenly around that center post there, so that I'm not restricting it to one side or another. So you can fill this right now with any sort of bottle, just kind of tilt your cotton up and get into those juice holes. If you have a plastic bottle with a nice needle top, that would be even better. I use a syringe. This looks very illicit. I assure you it is only for vaping. It's blunt tipped. So I like to use this to get my cotton down in there. I'm going to take it and kind of try to snag the end of the cotton, push it down into there. This isn't ever going to come out perfectly. So there we go. All of our cotton is down in those juice wells. Down in our tank, if you will. Again, you can come at it from different sides and try to kind of position your cotton and play with it a little bit. I'm pretty happy. So I'm just going to kind of lift it up here Make sure it's not underneath. Get plenty of airflow underneath your coil here. So there we have it. I think the juice should flow around the tank freely. That's exactly what I want. The last build I had in here, the wicks came all the way down to the bottom. They were big fat wicks. And like I said, juice would get trapped on this side and not flow back over to this side. So I was getting a little bit of dry hitting. Get these to make sure that they are nice and even. This one could be pulled up and fluffed up just a little bit more. So here's how I fill it with this guy. Yeah, that's right. It looks really illicit again. I'm sorry. I promise you it's purely vaping. Let me get my bottle of juice. So just pour some of this juice on there. Get those wicks saturated on top. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our needle. We're going to jam it down in there. And we're just going to fill. You want to make sure that the cotton is blocking off as much of those juice holes as possible. Just want to make sure that all of my cotton is covering up those juice channels and is nice and fluffed up. You can pull a little bit. You can see it's already wicking up there. I did prime it. You can see we've got a nice full tank. There's your air bubble right there. Line up our air holes. She's good to go. Avocado. All right, see you back up top. All right, there it was, up close. Showed you how to wick it, showed you how I wick it at least. So let's see how it does. Let's give it a vape. Whew, you can see this little guy is a performer. I was a little skeptical. Haven't used Genesis for a couple of years. Didn't know how it would work with cotton, but it turns out it works surprisingly well. This is, like I said, a 3 mil tank, so you're not going to get a whole lot of capacity. You're not going to be able to take it out to work for 8 hours and come back home. You're going to have to be filling it, but with the Velocity style dripper on top, it's kind of like a dripper with a little bit more juice capacity, obviously, but I like it. It's giving me really good flavor. I got a nice cool little drip tip here, a little matchy, and the domed top cap gives me great flavor. I'm a big fan of this thing. As you could see, it's a great performer, pretty easy to wick, nice big wick holes, nice build deck. I mean, Velocity doesn't get any simpler than that. So what else can I say? I like this thing. More of a tutorial video than a review, but I am going to say I really like it. I've been using it. I've got it on my iStick 100 watt TC, and it's a really great performer. I mean, it's good. Got it at 40 watts, just like all my other builds, and I really, really like it. The flavor's coming through great, and it's a fun little different tank I thought I'd share with you. Anyways, if you like my videos, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Give me a like, give me a comment. I always appreciate the feedback. Looking forward to giving you guys some more, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for vaping with me, Greg P.